Hey guys, today I will be doing a ADC difficulty tier list. S is for the hardest, A is for second hardest, and whatever. Yeah, you get the point. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter post their ADC skill mastery tier list, and so on and so forth. And alright, let's just get started. First, right away, I'm putting Ezreal as an S tier ADC. I think that Ezreal is very hard to play to his maximum potential. And sorry, give me a second here. My headset died. And you see those 2000 LP ADCs, Chinese ADCs, like Ezreal, and it's super hard to land the skill shots on this champion consistently and utilize his kit to the fullest of its ability. Fuck, I just realized I pulled Ezreal out of the middle. I should be putting like some from top of the bottom list here. Yeah, Akshan. Akshan, I have no fucking clue. I don't even consider him an ADC, so I'm just gonna put him D tier. I don't really know much about him. I know that he's a fucking shitty mid laner. Right, next is Aphelios. Aphelios I'd put I'd say an A tier. Because if I think about it, there's no possible way that Aphelios can be harder than Ezreal. Because Aphelios doesn't have to hit as consistent skill shots as Ezreal does, right? He's usually an auto-based attacker. The hard part about using him is understanding his abilities and knowing how to. What I see most impressive about most Aphelios is their ability to just one-shot someone with the Gale Force with the sniper gun. Yep. Next is Ashe. Ashe, I would put on C tier, but I saw someone online with an argument that it's very hard to use your ult and your hawk shot to her fullest potential. And I think I agree with that. But I don't think she's on Aphelios tier, so I think I'd put her a tier below. Otherwise, I think her kit's like super simple. It's W, you just slow someone, and you E, and you just hawkshot around the map, but knowing when the hawkshot takes game knowledge, and you know that does take some mastery and time to learn. Next is Caitlyn. Caitlyn, this champion, I think this champion is. Let's see, is she harder than Ashe? I think she's harder than Ashe. Is she harder than Aphelios? No, she's not harder than Aphelios. So in between somewhere here, let's just put her behind Aphelios. I think long range ADCs are. It's really easy to play long range ADCs like Caitlyn, but Caitlyn, it's super hard to convert your lane advantage to a lead in the game, and it's really hard to play Caitlyn, especially when your jungler just doesn't want to play for bot lane and just completely ignores you, and you're just perm pushed in, and you're just super susceptible to ganks and roams. That's why I think she's hard, and it's really hard to her netting backwards to avoid like CC perfectly. I don't know. I find that super hard and really challenging to do. Especially her E gets cancelled by everything. It's so like by the slightest CC. Well, Tristana W doesn't get cancelled. It's literally just is a free out. So yeah. Otherwise, it's easy to play her at like a mediocre level, but it's really hard to maximize, like fully use her kit and get yourself a lead and convert it to an advantage in the game. Draven, Oh my goodness. I think Draven is harder than Aphelios. I play a lot of Draven, and it's really hard a lot of the games. It's like because the Draven's are really short range ADC, and short range ADCs in this meta are take a beating. Like it's super hard, but he thrives. Draven thrives in solo queue because Draven beats the shit out of the noobs. And after, if there's one, like if the support's in like inter, or like the jungler is an inter, enemy jungler is an inter, or like the enemy ADC is an inter, any one of those people, if any one of those people just decide to come to your lane and just run it down, the Draven's gonna snowball and go out of control. And you gotta know your limits, because a lot when you're playing Draven, you're flashing in to get your cash in, and you need to know when to catch your axe, when to not catch your axe, dodge skill shots, and I think it's very hard to maximize his kit. But I think that might be a like slightly biased opinion because I'm a Draven player, and yeah. Next is Jhin. I think Jhin is C tier. Probably one of the easiest ADCs to pick up. 4 shots. You don't need to click as much as any other ADC because you have fixed attack speed. And the most important thing on Jhin is to land your skill shots. Land your skill shots, like your W, your brute is super important. Being able to hit your root is one of the biggest assets. It's super important when you're playing Jhin, and being able to hit your ult is also really nice. Other than that, I don't think there's anything much else to say about Jhin. Jinx. I think. I do think she's almost just as easy as Jhin. Jinx has the same advantage as Caitlyn, where they both have super long range attack range, right? And it's super easy for them to just win and just chill in the lane. But unlike Caitlyn, you're forced to when you pick Caitlyn, you're kind of forced to get a lead on your own because you get outscaled by a lot of the ADCs. Meanwhile, Jinx scales so hard. Once she gets like 2-3 items, she becomes a complete menace. Well, Caitlyn doesn't spike as hard as the other ADCs with items. So that's why you really want to snowball with her. Kaisa. I'd put her above Ashe. I don't think she's as hard as these tier champions though. I think Kaisa, it's super easy to pick up because your Q is, you have like a free wave clear with your Q. It's automated and it's super simple to use and lane with your Q. But knowing when to go in and maximizing your ult usage and just like team fighting. I think team fighting as Kaisa is one of the hardest things because you want to if you want to maximize her damage, you're going for the end. You're going for the one shot on the enemy ADC, right? You're trying to do everything you can. And when I see like all those pro players play Kaisa, they'll manage to find angles to kill and one shot the most important enemy carries, and I think that's super hard. But not as hard as trying to execute a flawless lead with Caitlyn, or knowing the mechanics of Aphelios and knowing when to go all in as Draven. And this is Kalista. I don't play much Kalista, so this might be like a bad opinion. I think she does. She's like a more unique ADC. I think she's below Caitlyn, but above Kaisa. I do think she's a step above. She has very specific knowledge, like unique knowledge that you need to know about, like her rend, her playstyle, knowing how to maximize your rend usage. For example, when you have a couple of rend stacks on an enemy champion and you can reset your rend cooldown with the minion. She's quite like a lane dominant ADC, but after she's almost like Caitlyn, where it's super hard to flawlessly get out of lane and convert and get a lane advantage without just getting shafted by the enemy jungle. That's what I feel like. Otherwise, a lot of times when you're playing Kalista, I feel like your support's playing the game for you. Whatever. I don't know. I don't play Kalista. Bad opinion. Kog'Maw. I think Kog'Maw's a lot like Jinx. Both of the champions have an ability that increases their attack range, and they just start firing and running at you from 2 screens away, and they're just auto attacking you while you can't auto back. So I feel like Kog'Maw and Jinx playstyle are really similar, and when you're playing a long range ADC, you're just hitting front to back. The game's really not that hard. Right, next. Lucian, definitely. I think Lucian is harder than Caitlyn, Kalista. I think the Gale Force ADC is like Lucian, Aphelios. It's super hard to know. Super difficult to maximize and master your damage and like be able to get as much damage out as possible, because you see the Lucians, you see like Lucian montages, you see like Aphelios montages, they're one-shotting people like out of like nowhere because they just know their damage. And to do that, you gotta know your champion pretty well. So that's why I would put him above these two. I think he's definitely an A tier though. Misfortune. Fortune? Piss easy. Press E, heal on some minions, press R. Not much to say. I don't know. She's a super strong ADC early. She doesn't really have super like many bad matchups. All you gotta do is press your buttons. Not that. Press the easy buttons that you have. Samira, another all ADC. I think I was talking about something. I was talking to somebody about. I was trying to explain to someone why Samira was like a hard ADC. And I think she's hard because you're trying to get knowing when to go in a team fight and be able to just like blow up like an entire like team fight on your own is super difficult, especially if you don't have like your teammate setting you up. Because if you have like a Karma, like a Karma, Lulu, Yumi on you, they're not like knocking you up they're not knocking the enemy up like a Nautilus, Leona, or something like that. They're not like a Maokai or like a Gnar like engaging the fight for you. You gotta make your own plays if your team is really bad. And to know when to go in on your own as Samira is one of the hardest things to do. And being able to use her combos and execute her combos flawlessly, like the 1 second, like the instant ultimate combo that Samira has, is really, really hard. So I actually put her above Lucian and below Aphelios, because I don't know, I feel like she's so difficult to play. Sivir. I think Sivir's in a pretty bad spot right now. This champion's really, really fucking bad, so I'm not too sure where to place her. But I think Sivir should be higher than all of these. Then the unique thing about Sivir is that she has a spell shield ability, and a lot of the times, if you're fighting someone, and the spell shield can just, if you use your spell shield right, you can automatically win the fight. Like if a Draven like EQs you and you spell shield his knockup, that's already huge, right? Or if you're like spell shielding like an enemy ultimate, like a situational ultimate, or like a Malzahar ultimate, or like even a Varus ultimate, or something like that, it's, you're already winning the fight. It's using your spell shield is probably one of the hardest mechanics and one of the underappreciated mechanic. Actually, I'll put her B tier because I don't know. I really think that playing Sivir to the max is being able to pick more, using your spell shield to pick more fights. And I don't see a lot of people doing that. Tristana. I'd say I put her B tier above Kaisa because I think Tristana mid is easier than Tristana bot. Because when Tristana mid, you're just pressing WE on them and you're just jumping in and out without like a care in the world. But when you're playing bot lane, you're playing 2v2. You're looking out for two or three people, depending on if the jungler's there, and knowing when you can go in. Again, especially like an all-in ADC without like a good team is really fucking hard to play. That's what I think. And if Tristana falls in the column of like Samira or like Samira Kalista, where you have strong early power, and it's really easy to play them if your support is like a decent person. You don't even need to use your brain. If your support just hooks them, you just know what you just know that you got a W in, press E on a couple times and they die, right? That's the same for Samira. Samira can be a fucking brain off too if you just have like the best support or like jungler role, just Sejuani and all this, just setting you up, hooking them, stunning them, and you just know to press E and just go in on Samira, right? Use combo, press your ult, S rank, and they all die. It's super easy to play these champions if your support team's good, but if your team's not good, I think it's super hard to play all these all-in champions. Twitch is, I really like Twitch. You gotta find a lot of your own opportunities to make and carry the game. I think I'd put Twitch above all this in A tier because it's hard to play Twitch. I play a lot. And maybe it's a biased opinion because I'm a Twitch player, but you know, a lot of times you're trying to get a pick off the enemy mid or an ADC or someone, or looking for pick, trying to use your like stealth to like pick someone, assassinate someone, right? And to be able to do that like at a higher level where everybody's like warding and everybody is looking out for stuff is super hard. But again, if you're picking on like some noobs, some low elo, Twitch is super easy to play. The enemies don't even like respect your stealth and you just get easy kills. But if you're playing at a high level, Twitch is one of the weaker ADCs at the moment, but if you can play him to his fullest potential and maximize his like know his kill range and be able to find your own picks with your stealth, it's pretty good. He's one of the ADCs that makes his own plays, which is pretty good. What is what I like. Varus is easy as fuck, man. I put him over Misfortune. Varus, you have like a sniper. You have a sniper Q. You have like an E that slows and an ult that stuns. As long as you hit your abilities and auto attack, then there's not much else to say. It's pretty basic. One of the hardest part about Varus is knowing that your W isn't active. I'm not even joking. I didn't even know Varus W wasn't active for like 3 years after they changed it. Like, I really don't think the champion's that hard. Hitting your ultimate, your ultimate's really slow though. So your ult, maybe you'll miss a couple of ults in there, but like, again, He has a strong laning phase, just like Misfortune, and his ult. It's clear what he can do. I like Varus is also strong because since his ult is like a CC ability, you can like just flash ult flash someone or flash ult someone and create your own engages. Maybe actually being able to do that actually is very important, and choosing when to fight and how to and making your own plays is really valuable if you're playing an ADC. So I think I'm playing a BJ now. All right, I think that's a fair statement because a lot of more decision making, right? Your playmakers, your own playmakers. I think being able to make your own plays as an ADC and maximize what your champion can do is respectable, and it's hard to do, and that's why I'm putting him higher. Vayne, really bad ADC right now, really bad. That new Essence Weaver build that came out, like a lethality Essence Weaver build that came out, it's not too bad. It's playable, but I still don't think it's too good. She's one of the harder ADCs to play, I think, because to master, because you want to tumble and like dodge every skill shot, weave your autos here and there, go invisible, and carry a fight takes a lot of skill. But this champion doesn't go through lane a lot, and even when she does get through lane, her damage is just really mediocre. I'm gonna put her in higher than Ashe, but lower, but the same as Kaisa, kind of. Both their kits are very similar, but as Kaisa, you're trying to look for the one shot. Vayne, you're trying to kite out the fight as long as possible. Xayah, I play a lot of Xayah. Xayah is my highest win rate ADC and what got me to Masters. I'm going to put Xayah as a Gale Force ADC. I don't think Xayah is one of the strongest ADCs right now in the game, because you have an invulnerability, you have a strong laning phase, you don't lose any lanes, and your ultimate makes you invulnerable, and you do a lot of damage with the new Navori item. One of the strongest ADCs right now, but I think I see a lot of people don't play Xayah and use her kit to her fullest potential. Xayah you can make a lot of kills happen by being aggressive, pressing Ghost on Xayah and just grinding people down. And you can get away with a lot with your ult, especially if you have Gale Force and your ult, and knowing your kill windows on Xayah is, from what I've seen, super hard for people to know and like understand. This champion is really strong, but I don't see, and as a Xayah player, I don't see many people play as Xayah as well as I do. Yep, I'm stroking my own ego. Don't mind me. Zeri. I don't think she's that hard. I think she's very similar to these ADCs. It's very hard to make your own plays as Zeri, but she's just like Kog'Maw and Jinx. You press a button, increase your range, and you just auto attack, right? There's not much else, many mechanics that she has. Kit's pretty self-explanatory once you get used to it. Maybe pressing Q is like a bit harder. Pressing Q and needing to aim every one of your auto attacks is probably more difficult. So maybe she'll probably go in front of these Kog'Maw and Jinx, but yeah. All right. Looks like that's it. That's my tier list. Nothing else to say. Again, thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it if you watch it all to the end. And if you disagree, or you agree, or you hate my guts, just let me know in the comments. Yeah, tell me. Have a good day.